it be?
You've got some fight, and I've got your name.
All those broken arrows. You've got your work cut out. Some are still secret. What you looking for? Not quickly. As long as the arrows fly straight.
Business must be booming for you, all them broken weapons.
Dead magisters don't tend to buy weapons.
Still, the paladins.
Paladins don't need them either. They took the weapons off the dead magisters.
Magisters routed! Lord Kem's paladins back in charge!
Your swords and shields are real.
Hunter.
Right, you are impressive. Let me help lighten your purse. Come, trade.
Hear ye, hear ye!
Ruff.
Get out of here, you dirty mutt. Right, you are impressive. Let me help lighten your purse. Come, trade.
Stranger, I implore you, turn back. There is naught within but black ash and void. The consulate lies in ruin. Accursed flames lap at every corner. The paladins are great and faithful warriors, but some tragedies even they can't undo. Yes, I bore witness to your feat at the gates. Your skills have proven invaluable to Arx. But I'm afraid the terrors waiting within the consulate aren't so tangible.
The priestess's eyes glaze over, and she shivers in fear.
You'd have to be mad to continue. And if you managed to escape, you'd be madder still. I can't say more.
The consulate's in shambles. Are the paladins just going to stand around while
Careful!
the city burns?
This fire's of the void! Infernal stuff. Can't be put out by normal means. Best to wait it out. It'll have to die eventually. By all means. But if you run into trouble, don't expect me to stick my neck out to help you.
little to none.
A single rage-wrought thought rolls from the dead lizard's spirit. Those Magister bastards. You are a spy at the consulate when a source at the Paladins delivers a bombshell. News of a Magister Black Ring conspiracy. When the Voidwoken come, you believe it is part of a dark Magister plot. The spirit howls in excruciating agony, trapped in the moment of her death. The Voidwoken are attacking. The Dreamers are escaping, and she is burning alive. Your touch draws her out of the endless pain. The Voidwoken are gone. The Dreamers have escaped through the pond. And although she still trembles, a new look has appeared in her eyes. Hope. She embraces you in gratitude, sobbing in relief. As the tears flow, her spirit dissolves in your arms, and she leaves for the Hall of Echoes.
The garden at least is unscathed.
The spirit doesn't speak, but instead stretches his arm backward, an unseen weapon clasped in his ghostly fist, and moves to strike. The lizard is not of flesh, yet you are sure you feel the edge of a blade as it sinks into your chest. In an instant, you are no longer you, but him, crouched low and concealed in shadow. Panic shouts ring through the air, but you must not allow yourself to be distracted. Your eyes remain on your quarry, a female lizard, scales burning red, clad in opulent garb. You remain 20 silent steps behind her as she flees into the consulate garden, where a shimmering portal of opal and pearl illuminates the pool beneath. Finally, the opportunity has come. She is as good as dead. You flit into a cluster of tall shrubs and ready your dagger. But she has already stepped through the portal, leaving you alone in this unlikely oasis. You step out of cover and reach to the portal. What awaits beyond it? Alas, you will never know. Nor will you know whose sword it was that plunged into your back in that moment. It isn't the blade's pain that hurts most, but the pain of the failed assassination that most disturbs you as you slip into darkness. And the pain is gone. You are you again. The spirit drops his arm to his side, dejected.
I've spotted something.
Heavy bone jaws emerge from the heart of this breastplate. Looking into ash and a warm red mist surround you. A memory flashes, and you're far from home. The city has no lizard architecture save the building in front of you. Seeing a piece of your heritage is grounding. Heat envelops you from head to toe as a guttural voice rumbles in your ear. It snuffs out the memory with its first breath.
I see you. And inside you is the strength I've been looking for. Find the place where the Dreamer discovered her people. I will draw strength from there to speak again.
That longing re-emerges with twice the strength. You need that beam of hope, an anchor to home. As the feeling dissipates, a cold sensation slips down your spine. Something otherworldly lingers behind you.
It's locked, but there's no keyhole or handle. There's gotta be some way to open it, though.
The helmet of the Devourer resembles a dragon's head. Longing pins you in place as ash begins to fall from above. The world is a crudely woven tapestry, but you are an artisan beyond compare. You want, no, need the finest craftsmanship. The longing turns sharp, obsessive. You must return to your workshop. As the pangs fade, someone else lingers near you. An imperious, elegant woman stares down her nose at you.
What are you looking at? Where have you taken me? This is not Arx. I must hear the voice of my finest creation again. I polished every piece with care for the Empress. Close, I hear its song. The Outlaw Empress believed in me, believed in my vision. Perfection must be mine again. Take me to the workshop. My masterpiece awaits.
Dead Magisters don't tend to buy weapons.
Still, the Paladins.
Paladins don't need them either. They took the weapons off the Dead Magisters. You've got some fight in you, and I've got what you need.
Hold up, don't be shy.
Some are still good. What you looking for?
I think you
Every fine trinket here catches your eye. The joy of them dances within you. This is where you belong. The craft, the detail. You could spend the rest of your life here. Then, your longing is crushed underfoot. In its wake, ashes fall from the ceiling. Oppressive heat presses in as a low growl rumbles against your ear.
The craft mistress is bound to the helmet. She spent countless hours here, honing her art to master his edge. This is where the Outlaw Empress found her, promising she would create dragonbone armor without parallel.
Massive claws run up your spine and grip the back of your neck. With the squeeze, a sculpted rune appears in your hands.
A gift for your loyalty. Let it be a reminder that greater rewards will come when you prove yourself worthy. I will hide no longer. I am the Devourer, the original, the uncowed, the dragon above all. And I have chosen you as my champion. We shall finally meet in my eternal dream. Talk to the dreamer's spirit and order her to bring you to me.
The voice disappears, and with it the cloak of ash around you. A new presence lingers close, cold as death.
Expert warriors for hire. All seasoned in.
Sadness grips you at the sight of the ruined lizard consulate. So much has been lost. The sky burns red, and ash falls at your feet. Ruin calls to ruin.
Her people were severed in twain. No matter her visions, a dream of peace would never come true. I said it would be so.
Huge claws wrap around your chest and squeeze. With your ribs about to shatter, an orb of pure energy appears in your palm.
You have proven yourself to be worthy as my champion. May the armor shine with my pride. The spirit of the dreamer shall obey. Tell her to bring you to where my spirit rests, and I shall bestow my power upon the armor you wear.
Something heavy cuts through the air, like the whip of a gigantic tail. The vision ends, but a cold presence stands behind you. A lizard in heavy ritual garb stands before you, awaiting your attention.
Ah, the fractured empire. I thank you for showing me what remains. The cruelty of my kin must be undone to honor its memory. He needs my soul. He needs you to do this wicked work for him. The power of another spirit is easy to grant. When taken without consent, we can fight the Devourer together. I can walk the path to his dream, so you may confront him and free us all. But until he dies, You will be locked in the Hall of Echoes. I am not strong enough to free you alone.
The other spirits watch you, wary and unable to hide their interest.
Will you confront the Devourer and set us free? You must be sure. The Devourer rules his dream, and will trap us there until he is defeated. I will open the passage to the dragon's dream. But have no fear. I will shepherd us all to the dream, so you do not face the beast alone.
Does that mean this nightmare will end? Rufus, we might be free!
Aye. I heard her. And I second the dreamer. We'll be right with you to take down that dragon.
Quiet! Quiet! I wish to hear that voice again.
The dreamer's chant lulls you into a calm haze as the world fades into the Hall of Echoes. The Hall of Echoes manifest. The dragon's bulky skull has empty eye sockets, but you can still feel the weight of the Devourer's gaze, trying to force you to kneel.
What shape do your ambitions take now? Have you come to claim the true power of the armor, my pristine essence?
Every spirit bound to the armor appears. The dreamer first.
This is your chance to free us. Do not bow to the great deceiver.
What a magnificent creature! To bathe in your splendor inspires me. If only the Empress was here.
The dragon snarls at the interruption. His claws swipe through stone like it's parchment.
No. She told me this day would come, but I prayed that it wouldn't.
He's been sleeping here for centuries, hasn't he? This is what the Empress really wanted to dig up.
Will you sacrifice the power you deserve to save these fractured spirits? They are mere fuel. Devour them and ascend.
The ethereal world around you trembles as the Devourer roars. He stares down at you with searing, seething hatred.
Do you hear the beauty of the dragon's song? This is the majesty my Empress held in her heart.
You would waste my gift? I will rip you asunder, then strip my armor from your undeserving corpse.
You have chosen the brighter path. I swear you will not fight alone.
The dreamer chants in a swift, ancient cadence. Ethereal shackles burst from the void around you, seizing the Devourer.
You ain't getting out of these, beastie! Come on now, friend. Strike that pile of bones down.
Can you taste the ash on the air? My legacy is reborn.
Into the dark with you.
Strange. To walk a dream within a nightmare. Yet every spirit bound to the Devourer is now free.
The dreamer bows, low and lingering with respect.
I shall draw you back to the waking world as soon as you are ready. You will wake in peace. I thank you. For we shall not meet again. The gods may now claim these fallen souls.
You see billows of golden sand stretching beyond the walls and worlds that roll across the portal's surface. It isn't clear if the portal allows return travel, but you're inclined to doubt it.
What happened? Where are we?
Good evening. God welcome.
There's nightmares in that mirror.
Never enough.
wake up and get the hells out of here.
Back, Quackus! Our shield has gone mad!
A battlefield. At least this feels familiar. Look at those lazy sods, sleeping on the job.
You are not he, the Red Prince, the spouse of the sun, Anan Nehet? You should not be here. No further than this shall you go. You shall not leave. Cannot. Nay not. Not anymore.
Whistling a high and reedy note, he summons the other dreamers. At some invisible signal from Bramos, they all attack you in perfect unison.
I'm ready. Hurts, doesn't it? Sweet dreams. Now let's get out of here.
A dreamer can't die in a dream. I cannot stop you, but the Red Princess will. She is well hidden, deep in the dream. As she lives, you will die.
Lucky find. Finally, somewhere nice. An oasis of horror in a desert of, well, also of horror.
Zolsticer, aid me! Even here, the agents of the God King threaten my life.
You killed the dreamers, didn't you? You lie.
To me, guardians of dreams! Defend your princess against these vile intruders! Let their day descend into nightmare!
Hurts, doesn't it? I'm ready.
Sata's ghost recoils at the sight of you.
You killed me. You killed me! Hiding. Protecting my children. Protecting the House of Shadows were closing in. The God King. He offered me a way out. My children. They deserved the chance.
The spirit blinks, then looks around her, listless and confused.
Dream of death. No more. No! He is here. He has come for me.
See the consulate on the other side.
The consulate garden is easily glimpsed from your side of the portal. Instinct tells you that once you enter, you will not be coming back. The consulate...
Talk about a nightmare.
What'll it be?
I'm not pretty, along with the arrows flying straight.
Trouble brewing in the ancient empire. Dallas strengthens border defenses. Got swords and shields over here.
Stock up while you still can. What'll it be?
Magister's routed. Paladin's back in charge.
Business must be booming.
Let me help you like... Come, trade.
Still, paladins.
Paladins don't need them either. They took the weapons off the
Too loud. What do you think the paladins would do to us if they went to our home like that?
Hear ye, hear ye.
But how do you run experiments on 100 people?
No time, presumably.
The only way to keep her nasty thoughts stuck inside her head and away from our kids, I reckon. Go ahead, but...
spectacle.
They must have left some evidence. Why else try to burn it?
Oh, Dallas, you best be... I'd better have something sensible to say. I will not have my time wasted again. Here? Now? This is hardly the time or the place. Is that so? Perhaps she thought to convince the Keeper, Lord Ahu, to allow her entry. A foolish plan for more reasons than I can list. I wonder... Well, anyway, it looks like I will need to deal with the witch myself. It's been a long time coming. But please, take this as a token of the Paladin's gratitude. You were invaluable once again. Now leave us to do our work. Be quick. I've other matters at hand. And out with it.
He gives you a cool look, then he purses his lips as he decides what to do. Then he lunges for his sword.
Brothers! I've uncovered a Black Ring conspirator, a spy, an assassin. Defend your Lord Commander! To arms!
dark with you.
With a glint in the dark of his eye, the spirit of Kem sneers at you.
Then you know I'll return. I am sworn to the king, and sworn I remain, Godwoken. I owe you nothing. It matters not if you defeat every last Lich whose bones have risen in my master's honor, Godwoken. With or without me, with or without Ishmael, the God King rises. My aims are, no less than the God King's triumph. That's all you can know. Enough! Is it not obvious to you? To own the city is to own the cathedral, to own the tomb, to own Lucian. Lucian is the key. The Seven may be dead, but their essence still lives within his rotting corpse. When the God King claims that final pearl of divinity, his reign will begin. Imagine it, Godwoken, a pure and perfect world. Cowards will no longer beg for scraps at warriors' feet. The fruits of our own labor will belong only to us. The divinity held within Lucian's cadaver belongs only to the King's chosen. And you are not worthy. My master requires nothing less than the dead divine lying in its most famous tomb. There is still the wisp of the Seven residing within him, a single wisp separating the rightful king from his kingdom. What? No! No! This was not the deal! This was not the deal! I will return! I will return!
It's an ambush. Of course it is. There's enough death fog here to kill everyone in Arx. I've spotted something. A city and its people can be measured.
What you doing?
A little girl looks you square in the face. She doesn't smile, she doesn't frown, and she sure as hell doesn't look shy.
Olivia, silly. You don't. I need to think about this.
She thinks about this.
Now that you're here, can't very well leave. Suppose you told someone. Nah, that wouldn't do. Nah, you'll just have to die. Get my troll to do it. Yeah, that's what we'll do. The troll will fix it. And then you'll be dead. Really? You're very old for that. Hey, got any money? Stuff. You know, cool stuff. Mostly.
That painting looks familiar.
Hello? Got any more money? My daddy once said, don't go to the toilet on your own doorstep. Then my mum chased him away for going in the bedroom. Them crates belong to dwarves. We leave them alone. The crates and the dwarves. Yeah, it's alright. Let me think. No. Yeah? So what? There's loads of paintings. I stole it from Lord Kem's house, didn't I? And so what? I only took one of them. The other two were too heavy. Yeah? No. Okay, you can have it for this much. Take the stupid painting there. Never liked it anyway.
Thanks.
The water rises and falls on Lord Ken's command.
What's this? I found something. Lucky find.
A dagger of pain shoots through your head, halting your advance instantly. You hear a voice, soft and calm, yet laced with disappointment.
Such a long journey you have undertaken, in the service of thieving charlatans, in pursuit of that which you will never obtain.
A long, sad sigh reaches you from the depths of the void itself.
I saw your abysmal treatment of my servant Isbale. Please, test my patience no further. This is your last chance. Abandon this folly, leave, and never return.
I am the past. I will be the future. I am the God King. You are but a misguided servant. Heed my words and leave. I do not wish you harm unless you force my hand. Because my followers are many, my followers are everywhere. Your endeavors are pointless.
The voice fades away, and with it, the pain.
Look, under the
Only
shrine,
the God King
there's a pressure
knows
plate.
the weight of responsibility.
Ghosts, and they're tearing his soul apart. There's someone here. He seems to be in great pain.
No, don't do it. The pain is too much. It will kill me. You can't.
He shudders as fresh waves of pain course through him.
Leave, while you still have a chance. And don't touch the...
He passes out, mid-sentence from the pain.
Good find.
The spirit ignores you, focused as it is on the spirit, and then it...
Stop! Yeah! Stop! Please stop! The pain! It's too much!
His face goes slack as the pain renders him senseless. The man doesn't respond. He's out cold. The dark stench assails you. The spirit concentrates on tearing the source from its captive. The spirit seizes the pain you inflict upon it and turns it back on you. The pain you share nears unbearable levels, and the spirit begins to smile. This is the pinnacle of its existence, and then it exists no more. The pain it gave you ebbs away.
I can't fight. I'm too weak. Please.
Glory is mine.
I'm alive. I was convinced the pain would destroy me. That you would destroy me. But you freed me instead. The pain is gone. I feel almost whole. I will be, I think. Now that I'm out of Kem's damnable clutches. He and his Black Ring cronies will stop at nothing. To think I trusted a traitor. I thought him a friend, a protector of the city. Yet all the while he was trying to gain entry to the tomb, to Lucian's body. Just like you, I presume? You didn't come here by chance, did you? No.
your power, your skill. You're a God-woken. And I think it's fair to say you didn't come to save my hide out of the kindness of your heart, either. You want to enter the tomb of Lucian, don't you? Well, what people believe about my role as the keeper of Lucian's tomb is all part of the Divine's plan. You are God-woken. I was told God-woken would want to get into the tomb. I was also told I should make sure that doesn't happen. The Divine's tomb is a fortress, a gauntlet. No single person was entrusted with the entire sequence necessary to enter. Not even I. Lucian insisted that no one ever approach his remains, especially a God-woken. Before he died, he arranged for the Lone Wolves to hunt and harry any rumored God-woken until they were dead or banished to the ends of the world. Within Lucian's body resides the very power of the gods. The power to seed a new divine. He insisted this power remain there, eternally sealed within the tomb. To what ends, I don't know. But I know that even in his great wisdom, Lucian could not have foreseen times like these. The Void's silent scream is about to engulf us. This is why I will help you. Because I believe only a new divine can save Rivellon. To pass the path of blood, you must bypass the statue of Lucian. The Scroll of Atonement, when used with a Source Amulet, will provide an alternative route. Have you by any chance met Sanders, the toy maker? He is one of the engineers who designed the Path of Blood on behalf of Lucian. He's a genius, but his ways are, let's say, idiosyncratic. He works as a toy seller now, right here in Arx. You may tell Sanders I sent you. Sanders is the expert, but once you claim the amulet and the scroll, I'll explain how to use them. But be warned, bypassing Lucian's statue is just the beginning. I may be able to forewarn you of the dangers you'll face, but you must still face them. I'll be recovering in my chambers at the cathedral. Good luck, God-woken.
I think you might be a visitor. Tell me, do you like puppets?
The toy seller nods and smiles, clearly not listening to a word you've said.
Wonderful. Here, take a look at this.
The puppet springs to life.
Impressive, no? There's a lot of craftsmanship in that small package. Quite a lot. Now, what can I do for you? I haven't had many callers of late, what with all the fuss and hubbub that's been going on outside. Source, what else? Each and every one of my darlings has a little bit of magic in them. It turns a mere toy into a friend. I'm on good terms with the Divine Order. They know what my work entails. They've even had use for me in the past. I have nothing to fear from them. I love my work. I love the possibilities of it all. The idea of engineering something to perfection. But one aspect always fails me. People. Fallible, mortal, irrational people.
He throws an adoring glance to one of the puppets.
My darlings aren't like that. They are pure and beautiful. They don't make mistakes, and they don't question my desires. I don't need others anymore. I have something better. Held captive? By Kem? Are you certain? Then I was right to sequester myself here with my puppets. Trusting people is a folly. But it seems that you are to enter the tomb of the divine. And I am to help you get there. So be it. In order to pass the first chamber, you'll need an amulet that's charged with source. 5 souls worth, to be precise. Here, take this amulet and fill it with source. When you've done that, return to me and I'll tell you what must be done next. You must wear the amulet as you consume source. The excess power will be siphoned into it until it is full. Good luck. You may need it.
My amulet is glowing with source. It seems the amulet can't hold anymore.
Greetings. I trust that the item I gave you is having the desired effect. Fully charged, you say? That would mean that 5 souls have been... actually, I'd rather not dwell on exactly how you charged the device. On to the next matter. You'll need the Scroll of Atonement. It's locked in my desk on the 2nd floor. The password is Giora. When you have both the charged amulet and the scroll, go to the Path of Blood. On the left side of the chamber, on a pillar near Lucian's statue, you should see a hidden mechanism. It will clear the way. Good luck. You may need it.
The desk is locked tight. Instead of a keyhole, there's a gilded inlay that bears an engraving. It was all for you. Beneath this sits a framed square of blank parchment. The parchment stares back. The puppet's words choke off. It spasms and flares with source. Then it is still once more, and a different voice emerges from within.
You have hampered me long enough. This place will be your tomb, the only one you shall enter.
The desk is locked tight. You take a nearby quill and dip it into an inkwell. Then you poise its tip over the framed square of parchment. The ink is absorbed into the parchment until it vanishes. Somewhere within the desk, a mechanism unlocks with a click.
I believe I've told you all that you required. Was there something else?
What? There must be some mistake. They're just toys now. They wouldn't hurt a fly, unless I wanted them to. I'll look into the matter. A misunderstanding, I'm sure.
Summer's still good. What you looking for? Giant Slayer. Back to refill your quiver, are you?
How's the potion business going?
Mixed.
Very funny.
For your good health. You a hunter? I've got just the thing.
You see Diana clad in spore armor. She holds the finished helm in her hand, wrenched from the corpse of a paladin at her side. She places it overhead and stiffens.
Yes, Ancestor. Show me. I want...
Her head wrenches violently towards you. A moan escapes the helmet, followed by a trickle of bright blood. Beneath the helm, fever-bright eyes snap to meet yours.
Why do you come, human? Rot. Come to steal, feed, infect.
The final sacrifice.
She approaches you, the vines on her armor lashing as her voice becomes a chorus.
You come too late. We are complete. One skin, and we only begin. Yes, I want to reunite our people. Once. But the Ancestor shows me we are never united. Never truly one. But the Ancestor makes more spores, and we become one. Do you see? Everyone. No. Let the Ancestor show you. You never serve again.
She suddenly snaps straight, trembling and rigid. A voice booms from the helm.
Enough, Shell. You do serve. But your purpose is done.
No. I see what you mean to do. You tell me we forgive them, save them, not...
The armor writhes and screeches, cutting her short. It slowly unfolds, and whatever is left beneath the vines is no longer Diana.
They poison our soil with death fog. It is for the Ancestors to remember, not to forgive. And you alone witness, and so I do you this honor. You are the first to feed the harvest.
the paladins killed unarmed magisters, didn't even let them surrender.
Too loud. What do you think the paladins would do to us if they heard you going wrong like that?
Arx is still a free city, last time I checked.
There's bodies in the streets. This place isn't free, not anymore.
I heard that the paladins killed unarmed magisters, didn't even let them surrender.
Too loud. What do you think the paladins would do to us if they heard you going wrong like that?
Arx is still a free city, last time I checked.
Many more of those on my sleeve. There you are. I've been looking for Lohse. I suppose she can sense how close she is to him. Luckily for all of us, I've been busy. I know exactly what we need to do to get him out of Lohse's head and into the palm of her hand. Shall I continue? Well, the prognosis is very good. I know of a way we can find your demon's home plane, the place he stores the souls he steals. If we can find it, we can destroy it.
Lohse inhales sharply.
I'll read that as excitement, gratitude, battle lust.
It's just, this is it. This is everything I've wanted. Finally, a chance to have a chance.
That's the idea, at least. But we need to move quickly. The faster we can get in and out of there, the less chance there will be that a drama leak realizes we're there. So, are you ready?
Yes. Yes, definitely. I think. So, team, ready to roll?
Malady takes Lohse's hands and closes her eyes.
Stay near me, all of you. You don't want to get lost where we're going.
You are suddenly heavy on your feet. The air here feels weighted with import and dread. All light within you feels suddenly dimmer.
Here we are. Tread carefully, Lohse. This place... it isn't safe.
Lohse looks at you nervously and smiles.
I'm glad you're here. So, where should we start?
That depends on what we find. We need to weaken your demon by freeing the souls he's trapped here. Exactly how he's storing them, and what that will mean for us, will be a surprise for both of us. The powerful ones do. Nothing they enjoy more than a private playground where no prying eyes can interfere with their fun. And before you ask, no, I don't have one. Even I have a modicum of decency. Deep, deep down.
No wax pools at the candle's wick, though it grows brighter as you inspect it. A feeling comes over you. There's a soul within this flame, within the black wax that fuels it.
Do you feel it, Lohse? There's a soul within this candle. This is how your demon operates. He collects them here and feeds from them at his leisure.
I feel it. It's the spirit of a woman. Prudence. The innkeeper in Driftwood. She made a deal with him, with Adramalik. And now she'll be trapped here, forever.
If the demon is feeding from her, we need to snuff the candle out. This is how we'll weaken him.
Snuff her out? But that's like killing her. If I do that, I'm no better than Adramalik.
Please. He destroys people for the love of it. If we must do this, it's to save the thousands he'd feed on in future.
That isn't true. I don't care about them. I mean, I do. But the only person I really care about is me.
She hesitates for a moment, then turns away from you. She reaches out and pinches the wick, snuffing out the fire.
There. It's done. Let's keep moving.
Good idea. Keep alive. There'll be more where this came from.
Locked. With magic. A trap. Better give it a wide berth.
That looks dangerous, but maybe I can disarm.
I should neutralize this thing before it does damage.
This won't do.
The candles glow with the light of the spirits housed by each. They reach toward Lohse, eager to be heard.
You know what you must do, Lohse. There is no other way.
Two people. Two souls. Two souls just like me. You're right. I owe them that. I owe them at least that.
She holds her hand to the flame and seems to go into a trance.
Two souls. So different. Two souls bound together by the demon. One, a humble man, a father. The other, a killer. The first, he understands. He wants me to destroy Adramalik. He's willing to be destroyed himself. The second is full of anger, of fury. He doesn't want to be sent into the darkness. I have no choice. If I want to survive him, I have to be like him. I have to do this. It's the only way.
Lohse reaches out and twists the candle's wicks. They smoke and die.
You're getting the hang of this. Very good. Not done yet, Lohse.
All those souls.
I wasn't expecting this.
The candles twinkle in the distance, each a life, each a soul.
All these people. All these people. All these precious people.
She stands silent, stock still. Malady suddenly grabs Lohse's arm. She speaks through gritted teeth.
We must stop him. This cannot continue. We can't let it. We need to free them, snuff them out. If Adramalik can't draw on their power, we'll be able to face him and finish him.
But they're all like me. Every last one of them. How can I...
I know it isn't easy, but we need to end them. Yes, they will vanish. They won't go onto the Hall. They'll simply cease to be. But if we don't do this, there will be no stopping Adramalik. The Sea of Candles will grow larger. He won't stop. There is no slaying the demon while this place remains. We need to act. I know this isn't easy, but I'll help. Just say the word, and I'll summon a flood large enough to end this, all of this, once and for all.
Lohse looks out over the Sea of Candles for a long while, saying nothing.
It's so quiet here. I don't feel him at all. Here we are, before the evidence of all his disgusting deeds, and my mind is clearer than it's been in a long time. It's funny, isn't it? How some pain is so big it just burns you clean from the inside out. It's almost like I could just step off the edge of this ledge and float away. There's nothing to me anymore. Nothing at all.
The light from the candles dances in her dark eyes as she looks at you.
Do I?
She takes your hand and looks out over the Sea of Souls once more. She leans against you, letting you support the smallest bit of her weight.
Sometimes I think my fate was written from the beginning. I was never going to manage it. When someone that powerful wants something from you, they just take it. That's what they do. Only an idiot pretends they won't.
She stiffens and stands upright, running her fingers through her hair. She smiles. Smirks, really.
I guess that makes me an idiot. Malady, let's do it.
With pleasure. Ah, perfect. There. It's done. It's all done. right, that should do it. We need to leave. Quickly.
She pants and wipes her mouth. Blood smears across her sleeve. Lohse is still and quiet, her eyes flashing grey, then black, then draining back to normal.
A Dramalik. He must be furious. We need to get out of here. Now. Hurry. There you have it, Lohse. Do you feel it? How weak he's become.
It's amazing. My heart feels more like my own than it has in too long now. I can almost start hoping I stand a fighting chance.
You still need to face him. You still need to best him. But you can do it, especially with allies like this at your side. Of that, I have no doubt. None. I need to rest. You can do this. You are ready. You can finish this, now and forever.
I couldn't have done any of it without you, Mals.
Lohse wraps Malady in a huge hug. Malady grimaces and pats her back stiffly. Having extinguished the flames in the demon's home plane and killed innocents in the process, Lohse looks to her party, eyebrows raised.
I had no choice. If I had left those souls alive, I stand no chance of defeating a Dramalik. This is the only way forward. That was amazing. He's scared. I feel it. Oh my gods, I feel it. This is it.
She suddenly stops short and stares at you, hard. She leaps into your arms and plants a huge, wet kiss on your mouth.
You and me, we can do anything. Let's get him, Chief.
You must truly savor my company, Godwoken. Something you wanted?
You can put a price on the warriors I have by.
Hey.
This place. Who would keep a prison like this? Artifacts, protected by magical shields. Lucky find.
In the squalor of these hellish surroundings, you spy a lone, bewildered figure.
Who's there? So dark. Step in from the shadows. It's you, God Woken. The demon, Adramalik. Too powerful. Possessed. Kill it. If you can. Adramalik. His name is not enough. He knew I was coming for him. A trap. A cage. So fast. Like lightning before the thunder. So fast. My soul encaged. Dungeon or daylight, it does not matter. I am immortal. Immortally bound. Only his death can set me free. Only you can set me free.
Wet eyes, red face, soiled garb. The dwarf suffering is writ on his body and soul. He opens his mouth to speak, revealing a gaping darkness where his tongue should be. His lips part. Drool trickles from his lower lip, but he speaks no words, and there is no meaning to be found in his formless throat burbles.
Struck dumb by the look of things.
The box hops and dances, as if an energetic toad lives within it. A large key protrudes from the side.
Die, Isbiel!
The swaying toy sports a grin so evil, it might have spawned from the void itself. But it's not the smile that disturbs you most. It's the ominous ticking of the mechanism beneath.
Okay. The doctor's plan. Hide in wedding cake. When dessert time came, go boom! Goodbye, Isbiel. I don't know why you're so nervous. I wasn't really going to explode.
I'll need to get clever with this lock.
There you are. My favorite person in the entire world. How are you, Lothar, dear? It's odd, seeing you here among my things, my practice. Usually it's me who visits you.
He stumbles and coughs, then regains his composure. His eyes narrow malevolently.
I understand you've been very busy. You're welcome in my home, in this plane, Lohse. But I don't remember inviting you to my little hideaway among the stars. Who do you think you are?
I have to say, Adramalik, you don't look too good.
He winces and recoils, then quickly regains his composure.
Come, Lohse. After all we've been through, you must know better than to cross me like this. You've seen what I've done to those who test my patience.
Maybe once, before I cut you off from your precious candles. Did it hurt when I snuffed them out? Did you feel the loss of each one as their power fell away from you? How does it feel, Adramalik, to be as small and powerless as you make the rest of us feel?
Shut up! Shut up!
Such disrespect. I'd be a bit friendlier if I were you. But then again, I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? I'm still going to destroy you.
Stay away from me. Stay where you are.
You should have stayed away from me.
I have given you everything. The powers of the gods. Freedom from their relentless demands. Everything I had, I laid at your feet. And you react to me with this anger. This hatred. It defies logic. It defies explanation. There's nothing left I can do for you, Lohse. Nothing but feel sorry for you. And that I certainly do. But make no mistake, this changes nothing. You are mine. Mine and mine alone. I don't need your consent. I only need your soul. I'm so very disappointed in you, Lohse. Look what you've made me do. You bad girl, Lohse. I shall have to teach you a lesson.
Right where I was.
odd-looking young woman, a woman you now know better than almost anyone, is staring intently before you. Fingers curled rigidly at her sides. Greyish-black veins run from her eyes down her cheeks, then suddenly clear. She blinks. Her bright blue eyes, bluer than you've ever seen them, shine with life.
Hey. Hey! It's over. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free! I've never felt better. Look, look! I mean, listen.
She goes silent, listening.
You know, I think maybe I was wrong before. That I could just get rid of him. I can still hear something deep down. Like an echo, really. An echo of a whisper. And if I choose to listen...
She pauses, one ear cocked, and frowns.
It gets louder. And if I choose not to listen...
She cocks her head the other way, brow furrowed, then breaks into a huge smile.
I can't really hear it at all. I guess that's a new kind of freedom. Maybe not the freedom to be alone, but the freedom to choose which company to keep.
She smiles and steps forward, her heat like a warm breeze, her smell like earth and leaves, and leans in to whisper in your ear.
I choose me. And I choose you. I choose us.
She leans back, her face shining, eyes dancing, radiating freedom, love, joy itself.
So, now that my voice is mine again, want to hear a song? Come to me, the night is dark. Come to me, the night is long. Sing for me, I'll sing along. Sing for me, oh sing for me. Sway with me, we'll make them scream. Dance with me, we'll make them bleed. Sing for me, I'll sing along. Sing for me, oh sing for me. Listen, do you hear it? Listen, do you feel it? Listen, I'm calling you. Listen, you do know me. Listen, swing and roll me. Listen, I'm calling you. I love that song, you know. But I'm not even sure who wrote it. Maybe it was me. Maybe it was one of the voices. Maybe a bit of both.
She smiles slyly, hums a little melody. Nothing you've heard before.
I guess it's time to start on some new material. Now, onward.
She stops short, mid-stride. Her eyes go wide.
It's not... I see them all. Thousands of them. Thousands of planes. Thousands of demons. Millions of souls. Lost souls. So many trapped. So many doomed. Like I was.
She shakes her head, eyes squeezed shut.
Someone needs to help them. Someone like us. Someone like me. Yes?
The dwarf's agony is evident in his wrecked face and figure, but he cannot speak of it. He has only a minuscule flesh stump in place of a tongue. The dwarf's eyes widen in gratitude. He blinks, yet no tears fall from the pink goo that's collected in the corners.
Resist even his name. Yes. A newfound silence. Sweet absence of agony. The 1,000 teeth are gone, gnawing at the mind and heart. I faced a hell scarcely to be imagined. But you, Torchbearer, led me out of the dark. Thank you. Bless you. You did what I could not. After such a feat, it cannot be denied. You are worthy of divinity. I must depart for the Lady Vengeance. There I can recover. Go claim the power of the gods, and do unto the Void as you did unto the demon. Only you can.
You ended my suffering. I am a projection of the spirit of Elenessa. The demon is dead. I am no longer his slave. You have my gratitude, and in recognition of all that you've done, I shall give you the spirit of an elven morning star. Made of pure source, it will pierce your enemy's armor. I know you shall use it in the service of good. Fare you well, Demon Slayer. Fare you well.
Cyrodiil.
Not too loud. What do you think the Paladins would do to us if they heard you going wrong like that?
Marvelous magic, right at your fingertips.
I help you to know and understand.
Greetings, stranger. May the dawn greet you warmly, and the twilight guide you to peace. I've lit...
Marvelous magic, right at your fingertips.
The elf raises her head and peers down her nose at you.
This is a place for Scott. I define.
Marvelous magic, right at your fingertips.
I help you to know and understand. Shall we go in?
I pledge my... What's this? I found something.
Oh, pilgrim.
May Lucian return.
The prayer seems to echo in the hollow space inside you.
May Lucian return.
May he return indeed. Maybe then we can stop praying and get back to our lives.
Greetings. Have you come to join us in the endless prayer? Or do you wish to walk the path of blood? Lucian's day wouldn't be the same without the faithful gathering to petition for his return. The more voices that join our cry, the better.
Hey, me first!
She seems so confident.
Please return.
Please return.
Something closed the door. There, a switch.
There, a switch.
There's a curious-looking... There's a slot in the center of the button. It looks like something should be placed in it. The amulet fits the slot perfectly. The mechanisms around it begin to glow with source. The button slowly sinks into the wall, as if pushed by an invisible hand. The source fades from the amulet, consumed by the inner mechanisms of the button. Gears turn behind the ancient walls, almost like they're acknowledging the words you spoke. A nearby hatch in the floor unseals itself. You recognize the approaching child. He is hardly a picture of innocence. His cheeks aren't rosy, but sallow. His smile isn't curious, but crooked.
Surprise! You left a little boy to rot in a prison cage, and yet I made it here. What do you say to that, eh? What do you say to that? Attacking a child? That's dark. And very bad for your sense of self, that must be. So let me help you. I'm not actually a little boy.
His voice changes, becomes deeper, rougher, older.
Really, I'm not. Say hello to your mistake.
A razor smile unfolds upon his lips, but his eyes are gone. The light in them has turned black. Any time he may have had as a sane and functional human is well and truly over.
Yes, my Lord Lucian, I'm coming. I'll free you. I'll protect you. I'm coming, my lord. I'm coming, Lucian. I'm coming. I'm coming right after I...
One problem solved. Now on to the next.
Even in death, the spirit of Charon, the great mistake, is lost in insanity.
Lucian, I'm coming. I'm coming, Lucian, I'm coming, Lucian, Lucian, I'm coming, coming!
The spiritual union is sudden. It sounds and feels as if you have fallen to the sand chest first from the coast's tallest cliff. You gasp, and you open your eyes. You bow to Alexander, as Gareth had said you must. You rise, and the bishop's scepter points directly at you. Show me. He is the master. You are the obedient hound, and he wants to see your tricks. Alexander's eyes grow wide, and he shields himself with his luxurious cloak. Paladins and magisters alike descend upon the bishop to shield him. You whip around to see both Gareth and Siva, eyes wide as saucers. I am what you made me, you call to them, and vanish into the ether. Now they will see. They will all see. Your soul rejoins your body with the same force with which it left. The spirit of Charon looks at you. For once his gaze is crystal clear. You find instead an ocean of rage, storm-torn and heavy, with great black waves battering the shores of his conscious mind. At the Charon wishes he could have been more than he was. He wishes he could have been the creator. But he was the destroyer, and he embraced destruction, fearing he could be nothing more. And there, beneath the regret, lies the kernel of fear from which all of this rage flowed. Fear that he could not be better. Fear that what he was all that he could be. Fear of his own potential greatness. Charon blinks once, twice. Then the ocean of anger evaporates. The nugget of fear appears in the palm of his hand. He stares at it, turns it this way and that. Then he closes his hand over it and squeezes. When he opens it again, his hand is empty. He smiles at you, lays his hand upon your breast, and gives you a gift, one soul to another, to enhance your talents as you see fit. Then he leaves for the halls. The Blessed Altar seems to want to be touched. In the space beyond the altar, the pipework shifts. A blessed, the altar seemed...
Venture no farther. Only death lies beyond. Blood need not be spilled. Bones need not be broken. Preserve thyself and flee. To cross this threshold is to plunge into thy grave. Do not decide in haste. Very well. Embrace thy fate.
Hey, charming. Careful now. That's a trap. Careful. I spotted a trap.
Move into involuntary death assistant.
Careful. I spotted a trap. Something happened, I think. Careful. I spotted a trap. What? I heard gears moving. Careful. I spotted a trap. That lever did something. I could feel it. Careful now. That's a trap. Careful. I spotted a trap. It feels like that lever did something. Look out. I see a trap nearby. Something's happening.
Good night,
Must have been the last lead. Careful. I spotted a trap. Good find.
Careful now. That's a trap. Careful now. That's a trap.
Must be getting closer to Lucian's crypt.
The truth hangs heavy upon the air itself, unspoken. This is the point of no return. Somewhere beyond this point, you shall be undone, or you shall ascend. There is no middle ground.
Come, Quercus. Time is short.
My goodness. Here we are, Quercus. This is it. What do you mean, Quercus? Of course I'm prepared. I have my noble steed below me, and my trusted shield beside me. What more could I need?
His whiskers crack into a mischievous smile.
And I may have cracked the spell that will stop the great acorn in its furious tracks, if that's what you mean. That's right, Quercus. We've done it!
Sir Laura turns to you, his beady eyes shining with pride.
I owe you an apology, Shield. At the start of our journey, I wouldn't have believed a human would lead me to the discovery that would save us all. But I see now that my prejudice was foolish. Without you, Quercus and I might still be stuck on that abominable prison island. Now, here I am. Here we are, on the brink of saving the world. Indeed, Quercus and I will find an advantageous location and do just that. Meanwhile, you must prevent the servants of the Acorn from interrupting us.
Sir Laura takes a slow, deep breath and lets it out in a rush.
You feel it, don't you? It's so still, but there's something behind it too, like a thunderclap waiting to fall. The great acorn is nearly here. Its servants are poised for impact. We've known this moment would come. Now it is time to put my research to the test. I am ready. Quercus is ready. And you, Shield?
Sir Laura nods in return and grabs your pinky with his tiny paw. He gives it a decisive shake, then salutes.
No matter what happens next, Shield, there's something Quercus and I want you to know. It has been an honor. Now, onward!
You come here often. I don't know what you did, but you just released a source flood. I thought I'd come and see what all the fuss was about. Should have known you were getting yourself into trouble. Looks like the big moment has finally arrived. I will do everything I can to support you, Godwoken. I will pray for you. I think you'll need it. Don't underestimate the power of true prayer. This is a place of incredible power where a single prayer holds the weight of thousands. Your heart and soul will fill as quickly as they're drained. Consider it a taste of your divine future. The people will pray for you. In turn, they'll trust you to do right by them, as I'm trusting you to do now. Of course, it's up to you whether or not to listen. I know how I'd respond, but you do you.
Malady wearily chuckles to herself, then bows her head in a show of unexpected but sincere reverence.
Looks like my investment's paid off after all.
I need worship only one divine, and I believe he stands before me now.
You've shown me kindness in the face of my sins. My worship is the least I can offer.
I've always preferred to be the one reaping the attention, but you've turned the tables. I suppose it's only right, seeing as how a new divinity may stand before me.
Now go. Rivellon needs a new divine.
Ifan, Godwoken. Dallis said you would come, old friend. You were always hard as diamonds, and twice as bright.
Your divine welcomes you.
The traitor himself, the divine you once selflessly served, the one you thought dead, lords over the chamber from a granite throne. He moves to speak, but it's Riedeman's voice that next pierces the air.
What a twist.
Lucian frowns at Riedemann, then bestows a benevolent smile upon you. All that you know of him flashes across the panorama of your mind.
I underestimated you, Godwoken. You have proven to be a formidable foe. You have my respect.
Respect? Indeed.
Lucian's gaze rests upon you and goes through you. He takes your measure entirely.
Lucian, we should tell him the truth.
Yes, I agree. It is time we dropped our masks.
A skull is revealed, bejeweled and ancient as the void.
I am eternal.
Aren't they just full of surprises? Fear not, old friend. Dallis is on the side of all that is good. She is helping me rid Rivellon of the influence of the Source. Listen to her.
I shall tell you the tale as I told it to Lucian. Long ago, the Scholar Fane discovered that the veil between the world and the void was made of Source. Our 7 lords desired this power.
Of course.
Silence, slave. Our king forbade the 7 to reach for this power, but they didn't listen. Instead, they rebelled and sent the king and his people into the void.
With the Source they stole from the Veil. The 7 created the races so they would have worshippers.
During their lives, worshippers collect Source. When they die, the gods feed from them. It's an ingenious system.
Our souls are nothing but vats for the Source-hungry gods.
The 7 made a mistake. By taking its source, they tore a hole in the veil, and it is through this hole that the void finds its way into our world.
The 7's lust for power let in the void. Our goal is to close the hole they created, to restore the Source to the veil. When we are done, there shall be no more Source in the world. Rivellon will be finally free from the gods that enslaved them.
He hesitates, then he swallows his pride.
Here is the truth. I have killed thousands, perhaps millions, for the greater good. But I made a mistake. It was my use of Death Fog that opened the door to the God King. It upset the Veil and took the 7 by surprise. My one mistake meant all those sacrifices were for naught. Those sacrifices must have meaning. They must stop the Void once and for all.
I seek vengeance against the king and against the 7.
There is more, but she hesitates to share it. Then she decides that she must.
I was a child when the God King tore my family apart. I was purged of Source and left to rot in a putrid tomb. A child. It was hell. A hell I suffered for the sins of my father. He was the one that betrayed the God King. He was the one that told the 7 the secrets of the Veil. The cruel joke of it all is that the same tomb that housed my tortured body is what sheltered me from the Void. Few Eternals escaped that fate. myself, my mother, and my father, the scholar Fane. But now I finally have revenge. Revenge on the Seven and the God King. Revenge for what they took from me! My life! My people! My mother!
The hammer's voice falters and her coolness vanishes. Every crack and rasp betrays her grief. But her next words burn not with sadness, but anger.
He never even looked for me. He never even looked for her!
Dallis, control yourself. Our purpose transcends your personal wounds.
Yes. You...
Dallas's reasons weren't mine to question. All that ever mattered to me was peace. Peace for Rivellon. Peace for me, whatever the means. And now, we are on the precipice.
She sacrificed herself for the betterment of Rivellon. She didn't do it willingly, mind you. Curiosity led her to the tomb. My hunger for source took care of the rest. I presume her bones remain there. And then I took her place. Face rippers are such marvels, aren't they? It didn't take long to realize that Lucian was the key to my vengeance, and I was the key to the salvation of Rivellon.
While Dallis sought the Aetheran, I started draining the gods of their source.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
One more word from you, and I shall use the leash.
I had to hide from the gods. So I had the walls of this crypt equipped with tenebrium and protections put in place. It worked. Everyone, even the gods, thought me dead. As divine, I was created, empowered to stop the void. I was the avatar of the Seven, their strength and their weakness. My bond to them allowed me to drain them of their source.
Maggot, I am no slave.
With a flick of her wrist, Dallis sends a jolt through Brachus's body. He writhes in pain.
Don't worry, he's well under control. He has made a fine servant. Isn't that right? Ingrate. I used him to find the Aetheran. When we're done, I'll release him from his duty and free him from his pain. Until then...
Dallis punctuates her statement with another wrist flip. Brachus shudders, but his lips remain curled in a self-satisfied grimace.
The Aetheran now contains almost all of the source the Seven stole. Soon, we will be able to heal the Veil.
The void shall be banished, and I, Lucian the Divine, shall return from the dead. A false divine, of course. I shall have no power. But the world will not know this.
The plan is almost complete.
We have made so many sacrifices, Ifan. All of us. Of ourselves and those we love. One last sacrifice is required. For the future of Rivellon, you must surrender your source.
Decide. Be the true hero and give up your source, or be forced to submit. Like a coward. Like a slave.
There is no other way. The source of the world is required to close the veil. All of the source. We only lack yours. Ifan, my friend. These were sacrifices that had to be made. You were but one. Each of them pains me, but I would make them all again. I made so many sacrifices, Ifan. And now, so must you.
Then let us proceed. Show some responsibility. Surrender your source.
You'll be a hero. Everyone will know of the sacrifice you'll make. Your name will be synonymous with the survival of Rivellon.
Don't let them do this to us.
I understand. Sacrifice takes courage. But I shall help you. Though it pains me. Your sacrifice shall be made for you, Dallas.
I'm sorry. You've come such a long way, but there is too much at stake. This is the end.
Poorly, Dallas. Good. You shall not seal the veil. And now it is time. I call on the God King. Come, claim what is yours.
How? What? You are unleashed!
Wiedemann cackles in delight at this turn of events. His unbridled glee slithers into your veins and throttles your heart.
You left the leashing wand next to me, you stupid maggot. So accustomed had you become to me pretending to be your slave.
Kill him!
Do shut up, you tedious buffoon. And don't look so surprised. As if I would allow that bone-bag Dallas to enslave me. Me? You should have listened to Tarquin, you worm-ridden wench. Nobody enslaves Brachus Rex. I am Brachus Rex. I am the Source King.
This is not the time for talk. Kill him, now!
Too late, you moldering, blight-stained pigs. Grant me power, my ally. God King, I call on you. The God King hears my call. He sends a companion worthy of my power. Come to your father. Come to the Source King.
and struggles to rise. But the weight of his own pain leaves him to gravity's mercy.
My time is done. But your source burns so bright I'm all but blinded by it. Be wise and true, Godwoken. I am no hero, but wisdom and truth. These are values I always believed in.
Dallis groans in pain.
I have failed. The future of all that is rests on your shoulders.
Yes. Is it? I can hardly believe it.
She casts her gaze around the crypt in awe.
After everything we've been through, after everything we've seen, here we are. Here I am. And now that I see godhood before me, I know what I have to do. Chief, you need to ascend. There's no one I would trust with this responsibility but you. I know you'll do what needs to be done, what ought to be done. And I know you'll do it with style. Ha! They'll never know what hit them. Now go on, shoo. You've got business to attend to.
You think back on your journey here, on all that you have seen and done. You think of the Magisters, and the sorcerers they hunted, and of the good and the evil on both sides. You think of how the Eternals came as Voidwoken to reclaim their stolen world. You look at the source around you. The power is immense. Divinity at your fingertips. You think of what you could do with such power. The rights you'd wrong, the wars you'd win. You marvel at your journey and how it has changed you. You think of those you left behind, and of those you met along the way, who stood by you or against you. It's time to choose your fate, and the fate of all you hold dear. What shall it be? Shall you be divine? After all that you have been through, and all that you have done, all that you have become, the Aetheran lies in front of you. Divinity is yours to take, or to sacrifice. What you do next decides your own fate, and the future of the world. What shall you do with divinity?
And so it ended. A tale that began with my own ill-fated attempt to rid the world of the Godwoken. Dallis the Hammer, the secret Eternal, purged the Godwoken and used the Source to close the veil to the void. The world was saved. Statues in memory of the Godwoken who sacrificed their Source were erected all across Rivellon. They would never be forgotten. The half-demon Malady took pity on the soulless, God-woken silent monks and brought them to the Hall of Echoes. There, from the scraps of their souls that remained, she restored them to life. Sorcerers no more, they lived out the rest of their lives, freed of the burden of being the God-woken. Freed from the weight of the world. As for me, I was already free. And so were the others. The God-woken sacrifice severed the bond between the Sworn and the God King. To atone for my sins, I spent the rest of my days taking care of the sick and elderly, telling the story of the God-woken, that the world may never forget the greatest heroes Rivellon had ever known.
Malady stands tall and proud, sunlight sparkling off her mask. From here, she looks almost angelic.
Ah, there you are. More than a silent monstrosity, less than a god. In the end, I'm not totally convinced it was worth my while to restore your consciousness, seeing what you've done with it so far. Where did I go wrong? How is so boring. It's the why that surprises me. Unfortunately for me, I've grown rather fond of you. Still, I'd expected quite a bit more from you. I was interested in being owed a favor by a shiny new god, not some emperor of the realm. Never mind. I'll find another way. I always do.
She fingers the mask, covering her face. For a moment, it seems as though she's about to remove it. But instead, she places a hand on your shoulder.
We've come a long way together. I did my best by you all the way. Sacrificed much. And I'd have given even more to see you fulfill your destiny.
She looks you up and down.
I guess this will have to do. Take a moment, why don't you? Relax. Enjoy. I certainly plan to do the same. The same way I do everything, of course. Demonic guile. Oh, I don't know. Around and about. Treat myself to some mead, a lover or 300. I'd say we've earned it. Perhaps our paths will cross again. Perhaps not. Until we find out.
I always thought that those who resorted to self-sacrifice were lacking in imagination. I must admit, that was rather noble of you. A world without source is one that will need individuals of wit and intellect. A sharp mind is the only magic now. I believe I shall enjoy this new world very much. That is the question, isn't it? How does one top the greatest feat of necromancy ever conceived? I might have the answer to that. Tell me, have you ever heard of Gustavgen? No, of course you wouldn't. It's a written language, unreadable to most, but myself naturally. It comes from a mysterious race from another world. Beings that feed on minds. I intend to seek them out. This Gustavgen seems to guard portals to their realm. And once I've uncovered one, well, I settle for being the greatest mind in just one world, and there's another for the taking.
The purging that once silenced you remains on your mind as you approach Gareth. You are grateful for Malady's miraculous touch. Without it, there would be no you.
Amazing I'm still here. That you're here. And that you might still speak. That Lucian... I only did what I was meant to do. I don't deserve thanks. I gave only the bare minimum. And still I strayed quite far.
Gareth shakes his head vigorously in response to his own emotions.
Self-pity is as dangerous as any man I have battled, Alexander included. In this new world, this world without the 7 gods, it's a foe I plan to defeat for good.
Aside from a single blink, Gareth stands remarkably still.
Time. Time has a way of changing someone. Lucian did not start as the man he became. Nor is the man I am now the same as him that once served at the side of a divine. Lucian doesn't need me. And believe me when I say, I no longer need him. I find a way to fit. I wasn't just content to lurk in Lucian's shadow. I was his shadow. Now I stand in the sun as my own man. I just don't know who that man is. And so I find out. My goal is to have a goal, if that makes sense at all. And if it doesn't, well, that's all I've got.
You are a very, very, very lucky person. If Malady hadn't restored us, I'd be a drooling monstrosity. but a vengeful one. The realm is a lot more robust than some people give it credit for. It's probably survived much more than we'll ever even know. I don't know if anyone's free of anything, once and for all. But I'm bloody thrilled to be here now. Just me, myself, and you, of course. Get loot, play loot, get glad. So, Chief, I guess this is it, right? Well, I mean, you can always come with me. I mean, I'm just saying, it's an option. If you want. Maybe? I still love you.
As she turns from you, the whites of her eyes darken, the veins in her face go grey, and a wicked smile curls her mouth. Suddenly, it's gone again. She winks, and you're left wondering whether you saw anything at all.
See you around.
Are you okay? You don't look okay.
No more swords, no more powers. Don't worry, darling. I know you have plenty of other qualities. Who knows? A nice cottage someplace quiet from the Halley and I. A roaring fire and a feather bed. Maybe. Maybe. But a girl needs some fun, doesn't she? Reform my ways. How adorable. No, I'm afraid I cannot escape who I am and what I've done.
Her eyes flick down to your mouth. She smiles coyly, then slinks forward to kiss you. Her mouth meets yours and devours you with predatory abandon. Somewhere in the recesses of your mind, you think you hear her voice sigh, "mine." But then the kiss ends.
Something to remember me by, darling.
The flaming hatchling bounces and cheeps out of sheer excitement.
Daddy! Daddy! Looky at me!
It takes you a moment to realize the egg you've been carrying has hatched at long last. The chick trills contentedly and flaps its tiny feathers in recognition of its proud parent. It seems you've got a new mouth to feed.
Daddy!
Rosa sings to herself.
It gives me almost as much pleasure to speak to you as it does to be whole again. I will always be an ally to those that carry swords, to those whose blood is of the heroes of old, and so, as always, I am at the ready. She is full of surprises. My wood was splintered, but my spirit intact. It was a great feat, but given her skill, not a surprising one. I feel better than new.
You look out to the endless beyond. The sun's light plays upon the waves, just as it always did. The sails flutter in the wind, just as they always will. And yet, something is different. You are different. And with a start, you realize where you must go next. You speak the command to the Lady Vengeance, and another chapter begins. At last, the world was at peace. The ancient Lizard Empire opened its gates. The houses disbanded, and the Empire adopted a pluralist quasi-democracy. Anyone could vote for whoever they pleased, as long as the House of Shadows approved. With their queen dead and the Voidwoken gone, the dwarves held the greatest party in the history of dwarfdom. A new king took the throne, the local brewer. 6 days later, he was stabbed to death with a mutton fork. Lucian made amends to the elves. He gave them lands and vast riches from the coffers of the old divine order. But the elves never forgave him. They would not trust humans again. And in a dark forest on the far side of a desert, well beyond the high seas, the Black Ring came together once more. The island of Fort Joy, the old redoubt of the Source King Brachus Rex, was turned over to the people of Driftwood to use as they wished. They turned it into a holiday resort. Reaper's Coast prospered. The fisheries returned, and the fertile farmlands produced the greatest harvests the surviving farmers had ever seen. Blood Moon Island became particularly fecund, its soil producing the greatest crops. A particularly crimson-fleshed orange grown on the island became a delicacy across half the world. The Black Pits took fire. The oil there burns still. Driftwood became a centre of industry, trade, and transport. Your lizard lover finally returned to the ancient Lizard Empire, there to found the newest and most popular of all the houses, the House of Love. Lagan left his over-demanding wife and began a relationship with a local bard. In the spirit of loving generosity, he returned the ring to his now ex-wife. In a fit of rage, she threw it into the sea. You would never forget Dorothea's kiss. Dorothea herself left Driftwood for the ancient empire, ever in search of the perfect kiss. She never found it, although once or twice she came close. The nameless isle had vanished. Although only open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why. Sir Gareth thanked the surviving Seekers for their service and gave them their freedom. Disillusioned with peace, he set out alone to find a new purpose. He would never stop seeking. Young Han went into the theatre and became one of the realm's most popular actors. With no new divine, Malady found herself in a predicament. She had an important problem to solve, but no ally strong enough to call upon, and so her search continued. Having performed the greatest act of necromancy in history, Tarquin found the new world unchallenging. He became obsessed with rumors of another plane of existence. One day he vanished and was never seen again. Ahu the Wizard became one of Lucian's most trusted advisors once more. He always knew that something had changed in the divine. He never discovered what that was, or if he did, he never said a word. With Amadia silent, the priestess Gratiana left the swamps and re-entered the world. She founded an abbey in the Dragonspine Mountains, offering the last of the undead shelter from fortune hunters, novelty seekers, and ghouls. Jehan the demon hunter found himself at a loose end, so he opened a museum of demonic artifacts. He made a fortune. With Lucian in power, Sahala took the elves away from the world. They grew strong once more amidst the trees of the regrown home forest. Some say her plans for revenge will bring about the end of days. Some say only Tova, her mother, holds her back. Lucian returned as divine, united the races, and became Lord Emperor of all Rivellon. Only Dallis knew that he was entirely powerless. Dallis and you. The Eternal, now known as Dallis, was a secret advisor to Lucian and to his successors. For eons she would walk in the world, and would outlive the peoples and all, and wander alone amongst the dying stars. Lohse returned to her music, and enjoyed a storied career as Rivellon's premier musician. Dark moods would at times overtake her, and she would spend long hours walking in the wilds. She always returned with a new song. And then there was you. You returned to the world as one more human among many. Your future was yours to decide. Did you accept your new status with humility, or did you rebel? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.